Tuesday, April 27th was Tell a Story Day. So I got some people to tell me some stories, and I got a bunch of people to tell me what their favorite stories were as a kid. So I asked people on Facebook what their favorite stories were as a kid, but here's what I got. Basically, Where the Wild Things Are, Goodnight Moon, Freckles Sneaks Out, Little Bill, Little Red Riding Hood, Peter and the Wolf, Courage the Bear, Is Your Mama a Llama? And Aladdin. And me and my sister both agreed that Heggity Peg was our favorite. So let's see what everybody else says, and let's hear the stories they tell me.
My dad told a story, and it was about this guard that stood at the gate of a town. And one day while he's working the gate, this family comes up and they ask the man, like, hey, we want to live in this new place. We are leaving our old home. We're coming to move here. Can you tell us about the people that live in this town? And the guard at the gate said, well, tell me about the people that you used to live with. And they were like, oh, they were great. We loved them. We, had such a great community, but we were just looking for something new. And the man at the gate said, well, come into our town and you'll find the people here are exactly the same. Well, later on that day, another family comes, and they asked the guy at the gate the same question. They were like, hey, we're leaving our old town and we want to know about the people in here. And they're like, can you tell us about the people who live in this town? And so the gatekeeper asked them the same question. They said, well, what are the people like we used to live with? And they said, oh, they were awful. They just treated us terrible and we can't stand them. So that's why we're trying to get away. And the gatekeeper looked at them and said, well, if you come into this town, you'll find that the people are exactly the way they were at your other town. And it drove me nuts because I was like, wait a second. How can they be nice to the nice people and then mean to the people, and it's all the way that you treat others. Like, if you are nice in your community and you have fellowship, it's not the other people who are nice to you, it's how you are able to receive that love.
I don't remember the name of the book, but it was about this little animal, and his eyes were bigger than his stomachs. It was like a flying squirrel or something to that effect. I forget what it was, but he had like a striped tail. I don't remember too much about it. I don't really remember, but the moral of the story was, if you can't handle it, you shouldn't go get it. God's not going to let you get it, and He's only going to give you what you can handle.
My mom actually made up stories when she was a kid. Well, not when she was a kid. When I was a kid, she would make up a story. It was about an alligator named, it was like Marvin or Melvin or something. I don't know. But she would always make it up like impromptu, like right on the spot. But she's a storyteller and a school teacher, so she's really good at it. But that was my favorite story as a kid.
My favorite story when I was a kid was when my mom told me about Super Bowl 27, when the Cowboys won their third Super Bowl in 4 years. With Troy Aikman and Emmitt Smith and Michael Irvin and Deion Sanders and Jay Novacek.
You know what story I really like? That Max Lucado, Are You Special?
With the stickers and the stars?
Yeah, the stickers and the stars.
I love that.
I was always like, I don't care what you give me, I'm going to let it fall.
Go, hop on pop.
Green eggs and ham. Are you my mother? The little bird that walked around was like, and he walked up to a bear and was like, are you my mother? And walked up to a dog. Are you my mother? The dog was like,
what about I Love You Forever?
Where the Wild Things Are?
Favorite story was the story of Jesus and how He died for our sins and then rose 3 days later. That's my favorite story.
I think it's called, I'll love you forever. I know the line is, I'll love you forever, I'll love you for always, my baby you'll be, or something to that effect.
I have to say Disney stories.
Alexander in the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day.
So there was this dude, right? And he was a pretty ugly looking dude. He looked like a lamp on the inside, and he looked like green wallpaper on the outside. It was pretty sick. He just looked really tall and really skinny, and he wore glasses. His had shaggy hair, and his name was Zenon. Yeah.
Brown bear, what means I see a yellow duck looking at me.
VP, my roommate over there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We like to make Whataburger runs. We made a Whataburger run one night, and she was so hyped up on caffeine that we stopped at the stoplight at midnight, and she jumps out of the car and yells, Chinese fire drill, and runs around my car and gets all the way to the front. Well, it had been raining earlier, and so the road was slick, And all of a sudden, she slips and falls in front of my car, under my car. And so she gets in the car, and we drive to the next intersection where she decides she's going to do it again. And this time, she trips but doesn't fall all the way. And the light turns green, like when she's behind my car.
Once upon a time, there was this girl, and she left home to go to ACU. And she met these really cool girls named Kendra, Candace, Katrina, Desiree, Katrina, Trisha, a lot of girls. And she had fun her freshman year in college.
Hope you enjoy.